Okay, I get it. You guys want to see something cool. Loud and clear. So today we are going to be going over the Nickelodeon's Crusher from Blaze and the Monster Machines. And as you can see here, he's just looking all sorts of badass. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that to you. Oh, we are actually going over the Hasbro Marvel Legends Patch and Joe Fixit Wolverine 50th edition, anniversary edition box set. But I had to be a little bit of a troll for those of you that have been following me for a while. And when I saw that they announced this, I've been hunting for a patch figure for a dog's age. So when I saw this announcement, I went, yep, I am on this bandwagon once again. I mean, I got the the single release of him, but we have not gotten a patch yet. And I'm thinking, when the hell are they going to get off their ass? I was getting ready to do a custom made one. So to finally have it in my hands, hell yeah. Now, at the time of this recording, if you guys want to pick this up, as I always say, first and foremost, support your local comic shop or wherever you like to get your books and action figures. And if not, they are, at the time of this recording, as I just said, available on Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. So you can see figures are looking awesome, and hey, look at that. We're back to plastic windows. Yes. Love that they use the old school Wolverine logo. Of course, Marvel Legends series there. Love how it says Marvel's Patch. Joe Fixit, 50 years of Wolvie. Come around to the side and we get a very great rendition of Logan as Patch there. Come around to the other side, we get a really cool looking artist rendition of Bruce Banner as Joe Fixit. Around the back, I love that they redid the homage, the original John Buscema cover, because that thing is just one of those amazing pieces. And I love that it says art illustration by Phil Noto. That love when they give credit where credit is due. There's a read-up, so I'll make sure to close up so you guys can check that out at your convenience. Come back around to the front. Nothing on the bottom but the Lego Mumbo Jumbo. So with that said, is this 2-pack amazing or not? Let's bust it out and let's dive into the world of Madripoor. I could not be more excited about this deluxe set. Having the Madripoor style Joe Fixit and Patch, just looking at these guys here on the spinner, absolutely gorgeous. It encompasses that John Buscema cover oh so well. With that said, though, just like with any action figure set or individual piece, they do have a few problems that I'm not real happy with Hasbro for. So let's get these two beautiful looking pieces off the spinner and take a closer look at them. Quick backstory on both of these figures. The first appearance of Patch, from what I understand, was Wolverine Volume 2, Number 1 of November of 1988, written by Chris Claremont and penciled by John Buscema. Patch is the alias used by Wolverine when he was operating in the Southeast Asia island of Madripoor, which first appeared in New Mutants 32 in October of 1985. This persona spun out of the 1988 Fall of the Mutants crossover storyline when the X-Men made the world believe they were dead, which allowed them to operate in the shadows while having the freedom to fight the enemies without people they cared for being hurt as collateral damage. So if you haven't checked out the X-Men in the Australia era, excellent read. Now, Joe Fixit first appeared in the Incredible Hulk issue 347 from May 17th, 1988, written by Peter David and penciled by Jeff Peruz, I believe is how you pronounce it. After the events of the event called Ground Zero, Hulk returned to Earth and took a job as an enforcer at a casino, calling himself Mr. Fixit, originally becoming the Grey Hulk at night and changing back to Bruce Banner by dawn. And it was during this time that these two crossed paths in the pages of Wolverine issues 7 through 8 in 1988, with Patch tricking Mr. Fixit into helping him take down crime lords in Madripoor. So if you haven't read those two issues, absolutely phenomenal arc. Now for the accessories of these two, for Patch, we get a closed hand and we get claw hands, so I'm glad that we at least get the options for that. I'm thankful. Now these claws, I'm so glad that they're getting away from those early flimsy looking claws. I hated those because they would always fall out and they'd start just moving on their own. So I'm glad that these are more inset and they kind of just stay the way they're supposed to. just looks so much better. And then it kind of has that Hugh Jackman thing where it comes up between his knuckles. It just looks a whole hell of a lot better. And then I just love it that they actually made sure that the vein work on Logan's hands looks good, which I know that sounds kind of creepy, but we'll leave that alone. Now we'll talk about the paint apps in a second. Let's talk about the accessories that Joe Fixit comes with. So he gets the more, I noticed that when the Gray Hulk was around, he always had more of a flathead face. So it's nice. You got the eyeballs there, got a grim look, got the ears. And then what I love here is back in the day, before modern printing technology and all that good stuff, to kind of show that a character's hair was black, they'd always put like blue waves into it. So I'm glad that for this 50th edition set that they kept that homage there. Just really beautiful. Now he does come with sort of like a resting hand and then a gripping hand. So like, I'm going to choke the life out of you, Patch. And he really does at the end of issue 8, and it has Logan laughing. So make sure to check it out. We also get the classic 2 Hulk smash hands. And of course, what Hulk set is not complete without angry Hulk. And I wish we could have gotten like a fedora or something, but it is what it is. That great paint app on the Hulk looks absolutely beautiful. All the line work, it just screams that John Buscema art from the cover of issue 8. Absolutely phenomenal. Now for the paint apps in and of themselves. Oh, we have one more accessory. I forgot. we get that more serious Wolverine look, which I prefer. This head sculpt. We also get more of a quirky one, because there's times when he's tricking Joe Fixit where he actually tricks him to turn back into Banner. Because what Mr. Fixit is doing is he's essentially drugging himself before he goes to sleep so that Banner sleeps all through the day, and then he returns as Joe Fixit, because he just kind of wanted to deny Banner a life at this point. Logan finds a way to trick him, and at the end there's a shot where the Hulk's just going Patch as he turns into Bruce Banner. So he got to have that little troll face there. The skin tone, great. Hair, I wish they put some of the blue waves like they did Joe Fixit, but c'est la vie. Both of their tuxedos look great. Kind of irregular dress pants. And then I love the suede shoes on both. This one's more like a regular dress shoe, but I like that they actually went the extra mile on Hulk's and made sure to give I don't know what you call that when the shoes have the little indents in there. I forget what that style of shoe is called, but it adds overall to this figure set. They just look absolutely beautiful. I'm glad that they made sure that they didn't just slap these coats on them. I'm glad that they made sure that the wrinkles wrinkle where it should. The bow ties sit where they should. All around, very great work on these figures. Now, as for the articulation, we'll start with Logan. This is one of the few times where I'm really disappointed, tragically, that they didn't give this Patch a butterfly joint. Now, I get it. This coat you could take off if you wanted. But I wish that they would have found a way to work the butterfly joint, because on the cover of issue 8, if you've never seen it, they're crossing arms and kind of like staring each other down. And because this Wolverine doesn't have that butterfly joint, it just looks so awkward. It looks like he's trying to do like some weird Macarena dance. So I'm really frustrated that there's no butterfly joint on this Wolverine. The head, great articulation up and down, as you can see, side to side and around. And there's a little bit of play. Like I said, you can spin the arm that way, up that way, that way, that way. And you at least get... I need to warm this figure back up. He is being a bit of a twit. It's supposed to have double jointed, but that's about as far as it can go. I may need to warm it up a little bit. Yeah, because this double joint here is just not bending. You can see it better on this arm. Damn. I thought I got these all warmed up. And then if you haven't watched any of my videos before, I always say make sure to warm your figures up before you start messing with the articulation, because a lot of times paint apps will get dried up in there and you try to move it, and that's where you see a lot of these horror stories of posts of where people are like, oh, my figure broke. And it's because you're just trying to take it straight out the box and move it around. So you're really running a risk doing that. Hands 360, up and down. And see, look at that. While I'm moving the hand, the claws have not gone all wiggly wonky. I hate that on the older figures where you try to move that and then all of a sudden the claws look like they went, and And you're like, what the hell just happened? He does twist this way, and because of the coat, the ab crunch is hindered. So that kind of sucks, but it is, again, what it is. Legs up that way. And I'm glad that this is kind of rubbery. Maybe taking a page from McFarlane for once. So you can kick the leg out 90 degrees that way. But even though this is soft, we still have the butt flap, so we can't go all the way back still. Upper thigh cut. Double jointed knees. Foot go up. Foot go down, and spinny on the foot. So relatively decent range. I'm just a little frustrated, of course, no butterfly joint, and the ab crunch is hindered. Now, because Joe Fixit is a bigger character, sadly, the beefier figures are always, their articulation is always a little bit more hindered. But at least that dumbbell joint, you can kind of get a decent up and down and some good play, like so. Arm that way, that way. And for these bigger figures, I wish they'd figure out how to use the butterfly joint too, because again, he can't really cross his arms without trying to do like a really stiff. It looks more like he's trying to shake a drink, like yeah. Anyway, at least get 90 degrees on the hand, on the elbow. He does twist at the elbow too, and like that. And again, ab crunch is hindered because of the coat. So that's about as much front and back as you're going to get there. You can at least twist him. You can pull the legs out about that much. Kick the leg out about that much forward. That much on the leg. And then, of course, the butt flap stops it there. Thigh cut there. Foot kind of goes up and down. And, of course, a little bit of spinny there. So even though there is a lot left wanting in terms of the articulation, at least the paint apps are beautiful and they are very comic accurate. So even though I can't get them to cross their arms and can't get that range of motion, I'm going to forgive it because this is such a beautiful set. Now for comparison against this awesome 2-pack, here's the Marvel Select Incredible Hulk, and I still love this piece. Something fierce. And then the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure Wave Tiger Stripe Wolverine, still an excellent piece, and this is actually one of the first Marvel Legends that I'd ever bought. When I saw that they were releasing the waves, I wanted something that was close to the original Toy Biz one, and I'm very pleased with this one, but we'll get into that in a second. I've seen Hasbro release a lot of Hulks, both movie and comic accurate, and I like the way they look. Don't get me wrong, they have it for a beefy figure, the articulation is there, but still, to me, and we've gone over this figure, we've gone over both of these figures, so I'll leave links to this review. This one takes the cake. This is what Hulk is supposed to look like to me. I wish the Joe Fixit had this size. That would have been absolutely gorgeous. Yes, the articulation is not super great on this figure, but still, that just encompasses the Hulk. Love that piece. And next to this Joe Fixit, don't get me wrong, for what they gave us with this, I'm content. I wish that we could have got a fedora, maybe a couple more accessories as we've talked about, but putting these two together, beautiful. Now for the Wolverines, I'm glad that these later iterations, they're finally starting to understand that these earlier claws that they were giving us were absolute garbage. So they would fall out of his hand easily. They get cockeyed and you have to play with them compared to where they're actually starting to, as I was talked about, setting these into the hand and making it look more natural. So even though this one is near and dear to my heart, I'm glad that these later Wolverines are starting to get these thicker claws and they're not really flopping around like a loose fish or something. I don't know. But yes, just to have these figures in our lives, I'm one happy little Marvel collector. Did you guys pick up this 2-pack yet? What are you planning to do with them? Are you going to display them next to other iterations of their characters? Are you going to do action figure photography? Let me know. Leave links down in the socials. I am thoroughly happy with this piece. They look absolutely amazing. As I said at the beginning, they capture that Buscema art style. And who doesn't love a good Hulk and Wolverine battle, especially when they're in different personas in the slum world of Madripoor. If you're a big Wolverine fan or also a Hulk fan, this is the set for you. Now, with that said, the articulation is wanting. This is one of the few Wolverines where they didn't give him a butterfly joint, and that would have really helped this piece out. Again, the Hulk, big and bulky, I get it. But at the same time, to be able to get characters to cross their arms, it is such a feat for those of us that we display our figures because it just looks so awkward. So I wish they could have done something. But I'm going to let that go because the paint apps are absolutely beautiful. I appreciate the accessories we got. And overall, this is just going to look great, whether you're an action figure photographer or you just love posing your pieces on a shelf. This is the set for you, my friends. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen, please, first and foremost, support your local comic shop or wherever it is that you like to get your comics and action figures, and grab this set before the price skyrockets. And if you've enjoyed this review, I really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that fancy little Madripoor bell next to subscribe, that way as I continue to upload content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel, and I love talking with y'all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below or the socials, which I'll also make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, photo slideshow coming up next. Hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, everyone.